Get inspired with the woman empowerment extraordinaire, LaMeel.
Hello, beautiful beings. It is Priestess LaMeel of now LaMeel.com, the Goddess Circle, and GoddessLife Ministries. So the links are below, wherever you're listening to this. That will take you to all of the new expansion that is happening in the LaMeel Empire. And one of the other things that has been initiated this amazing month of August as we close out summer is Priestess Proverbs, which happens at our Sunday temple on YouTube live every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know if it's going to stay that time, but I'll keep you abreast. As I was saying, Priestess Proverbs, I don't know if we're going to keep that time slot, but we will keep you abreast. And if you want to know when the replays are here on LaMeel Radio or when we're going live, you'll need to join Goddess Life Ministries newsletter. We send out an email blast right before we go live, so you have some time to join. And you can go on over to GoddessLifeMinistries.org. That link is going to be in the description as well. So, one of the things that I talked about a few weeks ago was about channeling, your higher self, the universal source energy, God power into the daily activities. And it's been really, really profound. As always, I kind of felt like it was something that I was always doing, but definitely it was not part of my practice. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. And I want you all to know that you can actually send messages, send questions, submit comments, and I will add them to the episode. Right now, I'm not set up for live exchange, but we're getting there. So hopefully by the beginning of the new year, we'll be having some regular guests as part of the show as well. So anyway, I want to talk about channeling that source energy through you in your daily activities and how adding that to your practice is life-changing. So usually a lot of people, depending on what your background is, right? Christians will be like, I pray every day, what have you. If you're listening, if you've been following, like prayer energy frequency is different than a receiving frequency. And so, yes, we need to pray and remember, synthesize essentially with that energy, right? And so the previous episode, there's like a supplemental episode that has synthesizing affirmations and channeling affirmations. Synthesizing is really about raising your frequency to that of God frequency, right? You want to raise your vibration. You want to match frequencies. Once you are match frequency, that channeling is allowing your higher self, that God power, that source energy to flow through and out of you. So then you are receiving your instruction. You are receiving your inspired action. You are receiving the divine solution. And what I've learned is that in doing that, right, then you are very much more open to solutions. You spend more time in the receiving frequency. That's the difference between those who have easy, effortless lives and those of us who struggle and kind of have a really high, intense ebb and flow in life, right? So it is about how much time are we spending in the receiving frequency. Because and most of the time, right, through clients that I've had, group coaching, one-on-one coaching, whatever it's been, even in my own life, when I'm having really severe ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, if you will, if that's easier to understand, it is because if you look at life on a timeline, thank you. If you look at life on a timeline, I am spending more time in the frequency of prayer, of asking. When I am manifesting effortlessly, and it holds true with my clients, I am spending more than 50%, even if it's 55, 60% of the time, in the frequency of receiving. That's what that channeling energy is. You are open to receiving, and you got to get there. So when you're open to receiving, like, you can ask and ask and ask and ask and ask all day. It's like calling that radio station and just keep asking for the same damn song. You're calling 95, but your frequency for receiving, right? Your radio is on 93 point whatever. So your receiving frequency is on 93, but you are calling 95. And you can't figure out why you haven't heard the song. So you keep calling 95, expecting it to be a 93, and it's not working. Make sense? You have to spend more time so you could be a 93 and you can ask. You can even not have the radio on and call 93 and ask. If you don't get to 93, that frequency of receiving through the radio never happens. You've asked. We ask without ever being in conscious prayer. We ask through our daily motion. We ask through the contrast that we experience constantly. When you have an argument with someone and you want peace, you are in prayer. You are asking for peace. You're asking to get along. You're asking for things to be easy. When you can't pay the bill, you're asking for more money. We are in a living conscious state of asking whenever we are experiencing contrast. So the work really isn't asking, although it is very good to get clear and ask intentionally. Contrast is going to make you ask, even if you just say, fuck that part. So where we need to spend our time is at the frequency of receiving, in the energy of receiving. Doesn't matter how big or small the scenario is, right? And a lot of times it's easier and we receive things faster that we care less about because we're able to let it go and raise our frequency and be open to whatever happens. Well, let's see what happens, right? I said I wanted to start a ministry and I wanted to start freeing women from this crazy patriarchy. And I wanted to support women in transition from very toxic, abusive situations, relationships, mainly, but sometimes they are other circumstances. And so that's where GoddessLife Ministries was birthed from. So we are supporting women who are in transition and realizing that they need a safe place to live. And so then I was looking at buying land. Then I was looking at, okay, we're going to buy enough land and create a tiny house community where these women and the children can live safely until they're ready to move on and reintegrate, right? What's an easy way to do that? And how do you buy a lot of land? Well, shit, I just learned I could buy a town. And in the freeing of me wanting to be free myself from this patriarchal society and all of the bullshit it puts on women, how do you get free? It's hard if you're in the United States. The United States is you know, it's everywhere, but really we are the epitome of toxic patriarchy, living, breathing. It oozes out of everything. How do you get free from that? Well, if you get free from the corporation of the United States, and you become sovereign and you expand from there, you suddenly have a lot more freedom. You suddenly can do, be, have, and move in a way that allows you to be the goddess of your body, your being, your children, and your belongings. There's actually a step-by-step process to doing that. So GoddessLife Ministries is a university with outreach programs. And so our first level, entry level certification program is about sovereignty, and it teaches you and takes you through the steps so that you can secure that. And then, of course, we have temporarily named all of our different levels of education to match what is familiar so that people understand the tier step of how things work. But you're welcome to visit and learn more. But the point of that is that I didn't know any of this. I just knew what I wanted. I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom. And to be honest with you, I have lived a very free life in a lot of ways that other people have not experienced. But I knew there was more. And I wanted to not only be able to live that more, I wanted to be able to be an example and share that more so that other women could experience it, so that their children could experience it. You know, they have that saying, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. But the third line of that needs to be, but if you teach a woman to fish, she will feed the community, right? So a man's going to take care of himself. A woman is going to take care of her husband, her children, her children's children. That is the nature, that is the goddess in her. And so that's where my focus is, creating communities and teaching women who lead and birth and guide and support communities. When those women who are at the head and those women who are supporting her are whole and free and complete and have this innate sense of self without the competition and the negative patriarchy input, the whole planet changes. I'll get off my soapbox and go back to how this is related to being an open channel. I didn't know any of this information in January. It's August right now. And I know enough to have I've learned enough to become sovereign, to be very close to having a micronation in and of itself, and to be able to be in search of a completed town to move this through and fully birth this idea to support women. I didn't know they were about to change the laws on abortion. I didn't know any of those things. But the fact that we are creating a community and a safe place where we will be free enough to do what needs to be done to support women, because it is our right and our spiritual beliefs, and not have the government interfere. I didn't even know how that was possible, but I stayed in that frequency and that channeling energy of receiving. And it just keeps flowing and keeps flowing and keeps flowing. And there'll be more. And I'll do a supplemental episode that kind of explains and introduces to you both the Goddess Circle and GoddessLife Ministries in detail, because I would love your support. I would love for you to join. I'd love for you to be a part of everything that that we're doing in any way possible, even whether it's education, volunteering, donations, etc. So this month is really about bringing in and channeling that God power, that source energy into your daily activities, your daily life. The easiest way to get there is through meditation. And I know some of you are rolling your eyes, but I'm going to tell you 15 minutes a day. Now, I'm still striving to do 15 minutes 3 times a day, but that has not happened yet. And I've been so blessed to be taken care of, blessed and exhausted to be taking care of my new granddaughter, who I will be introducing to the world very soon. So 3 times a day is still a little bit of a stretch because I'm sleep deprived. But I'm working on it. And if things are unfolding the way that they are with just 15 minutes a day in my life, when I can get back to twice a day and then ultimately really be doing 3 times a day, my life is not even going to look the same. And hopefully for those of you who listen and follow, subscribe, and support, neither will yours, right? Because my frequency, if you are in the reach of my frequency, of my energy, it will affect you. That's how we work. That is how we are all connected. So if we're connected and we're connected in the right way, when one does good, we all do good. When one learns, we all learn. So 15 minutes a day in meditation before bed is good. In the morning is better before you start your activities. Before bed tends to cause people to fall asleep, or they get so many insights that they cannot go to sleep. So tread lightly with that one if you have sleep issues or time restraints. First thing in the morning, before you start to engage, before you are heavily active, you can do this with sound and you can do this without sound. After the 15th of September, maybe sooner, by the 1st of September, if you go to our live events section on the Goddess Circle page, for those of you who are members, there will be a Goddess frequency activation meditation that you can listen to. And you can listen to it over and over again, as well as watch the replay of whatever the current live event, our most recent live event was. I will put a shortened version of a goddess activation meditation here. It's going to be part of our September episodes, so that you can come here, listen. We'll time it for exactly 15 minutes, or we'll do half and you can play it twice so that you can get the 15 minutes of meditation. Once you do that and you kind of have a practice, you can expand. You do not need to have guided meditation. You can listen to the air conditioner. You can listen to the heater. You can listen to music, whatever it is that you need. I like to listen to the air conditioner. I also do a breathing. I set a timer and do a chakra activating breathing exercise that kind of really removes me and connects me with breath and helps me disconnect from the physical body for that short period of time. And it is amazing. So see if you can do that. Like that's the call to action for today is, or for this week is, to meditate for 15 minutes. Find a way, even if it's a walking meditation, even if it is a drinking meditation. I'll get into what some of those things are when I do the meditation episode. But so I'll break it into two so that you can just have the meditation, but I'll do the intro, explanation, and everything separately. So it'll be like the main episode, and then the part A or B will be just the meditation. So you guys can access that. And so if you're listening to this after September, now you know how you can go find it. But do that. It's going to be life-changing. And it's going to allow you, when you are in that meditative state, you are receiving. 15 minutes of receiving changes you. The downloads that you get. Now, sometimes you get those downloads during the 15 minutes, but you don't really process it and understand it till eureka at some other point in the day. But it doesn't mean the fact that you opened up. And that's really what has to be done. It may not fully process, you may not fully understand or be able to translate it initially, but you've got to have at least that 15 minutes of receiving, getting into the receiving frequency. And you're going to do that by meditating. So that's all I have for you on that. I do want to also tell you guys about we started on the 15th of August, 30 days of, now I'm about to lie to you about the name. I think we called it Goddess Frequency, Goddess Embodiment, 30-day Goddess Embodiment Challenge, right? It's completely free. It is on TikTok in a series. As I'm recording this, I don't have enough followers to do playlists, but across the top, you'll see Goddess Embodiment Day 1, Goddess Embodiment Supplement. So I do like a Goddess Embodiment intro, and then Day 1, Day 2, if I need to expand, I do like supplement of Day 1, like that, so you can see and follow along in the right order, right? And then there's hashtags that we're sharing, and you have an opportunity to get into the Voxer group with me. If you want to be supported, there is a fee for that. You can download the journal that goes with it, and that is like $5. So I'll put the link below so that you can join it, get all the information, and then follow me on TikTok. Please leave a comment. Let me know you're there. If you have any questions, I'm definitely here to support you. I really, really appreciate you guys being here, supporting us, supporting me in my growth and expansion. And as always, leave questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, topic ideas, any of those things, because I am here to serve you. And I appreciate you. You guys are part of my manifestation. So you are loved, and I will see you or talk to you in the next episode of LaMeel Radio.
LaMeel Radio. Empowerment radio for women, by women.